Here's a movie for all you Mark Hamill fans out there. It's the movie Brigsby Bear. Brigsby Bear, directed by Dave McCary, starring Kyle Mooney, Mark Hamill, Greg Kinnear, and a few other actors. This movie is a small independent film starring Kyle Mooney as James Pope. He is a man that was abducted when he was a child, when he was a baby, and he has been living with his kidnappers, thinking that his kidnappers are his parents, played by Mark Hamill and Jane Addams. And very early in the movie, he gets rescued by the police. The police find out where he's been held captive. It's this secluded place almost in the middle of nowhere, and he gets taken back to his real family, his real parents, Greg and Louise Pope, played by Matt Walsh and Michaela Watkins, and he meets his real sister, Aubrey, played by Ryan Simpkins. Claire Danes shows up in this movie. She plays the psychiatrist that the family hires in order to help James Pope get reaccustomed with the real world after being kidnapped for so long. Now, while he was being kidnapped by Mark Hamill's character, he was being raised watching this children's television show called Brigsby Bear, which was a show that was entirely made up by Mark Hamill, by Mark Hamill's character, in order to keep him happy or something like that. But James becomes obsessed with this show. He's got Brigsby Bear merchandise all over his room when you first meet him, and he's got Brigsby shirts. Usually the shirt you see him wearing in it is a Brigsby shirt, and he gets so obsessed. Once he gets out into the real world, the first thing he wants to do is make a movie about Brigsby Bear, since finds out that the show was not real, but the show was never really finished, and he wants to try to finish the show, give it the ending it deserves. And even though the show's not real, he considers this show to be a part of his life, and he wants to do something for the show. So he decides to make a movie about it, and that's pretty much the main plot of this film. Now, I didn't know anything about this movie going in. I did not see the trailer for this film, but I heard some good things about it, so I did want to see the film. And I have to say, I did like this movie a lot. Kyle Mooney, this is the first film I've ever seen him in, and I think he's great in this movie. You got Greg Kinnear, who plays the detective that finds him, and he decides to help James make the movie, and I thought he was very good in the film as well. Mark Hamill is great in this film. I really did like him in the movie. The scenes that he gets, even though he's not in the movie that much, are really good. Ryan Simpkins, who plays James' sister in the film, she's very good. At first, she is embarrassed by Kyle Mooney's character, James, and she finds him to be very weird, but eventually she begins to treat him like a brother and begins to warm up to him and everything. So I did like the friendship that they ended up having, and the best friend that he does get in the movie is a guy named Spencer, played by Jorge Lendenborg Jr. He's great in this movie. The friendship that he and James have is really good, and the fact that he's helping James out with the movie is great. The other actress that is in this movie is a woman played by Alexima Demi. Her name is Meredith. She is somebody that at first likes James, but then later on doesn't like him, but she is one of Aubre's friends, and she was very good in the movie too. I did like her, and the couple scenes that she got were pretty funny. But the main character within this film, Kyle Mooney, is great, and even though at first he does come off as very nerdy, he is a great guy, and I did see much myself in him, because there are some TV shows that I am a bit obsessed about, and some shows that were canceled in my past that I wish could have gotten finished and could have gotten their due. So I do understand what this guy's going through. The movie is very sweet, and the work that went into this film I thought was done very well. Let's talk about what little negatives there are in this movie. First off, Mark Hamill's not in the movie that much. I wish he was in the movie a little bit more. He's not in the movie that much because through much of the film, once James gets rescued, Mark Hamill's character goes to prison for the kidnapping, so for the rest of the movie he's not in it, and I wanted to see more of him in the film, but I kind of understood why he wasn't in the movie that much. Then there's this one scene where Kyle Mooney's character does find a girl that he likes, and he does say that he does have feelings for her, but the girl that he has feelings for doesn't get that much character development. I understand the movie is mostly about his obsession with Brigsby Bear, but it would have been nice to give this particular girl a little bit more character development. But overall, I did like this movie a lot, and I definitely think people should check this movie out. So I'm going to give this movie a B+. It's definitely worth seeing in the theater, and that's all I gotta say for Brigsby Bear.